there, my name is Cindy Truong and I'm currently an Inspira counselor. To start off, I started my undergraduate career at University of California, Irvine, also known as UCI. I decided to pursue my PA career at a primary care physician assistant program in California because I wanted to stay closer to home and in this beautiful weather. So I'm currently at USC Keck School of Medicine, and my background stems from various diverse patient care experiences. I started off becoming a dental assistant, trying to see the different specialties that are in dental and how they're related to the healthcare and medicine aspect of a patient's well-established care. And so I started there, and then I did medical assistant in pulmonology, pain management, and then I decided that ophthalmology was a field that I was interested in. So I became an ophthalmic technician in both retina specialty and general. And those were my patient care experiences, but I did have an opportunity to shadow PAs in different professions, such as family medicine and urology. I had a very diverse background, and so that's something that I am very proud of. I think that a wide variety of patient care experiences is very beneficial, and especially being able to see the different specialties that you're able to work in and just the interprofession relationships that you have as a PA is a great opportunity for you to learn about how PAs are able to provide greater access to healthcare. I'm interested in either emergency medicine or surgery. I really do like to be hands-on, and so that's why surgery stood out to me, but emergency medicine was just a very fast-paced setting during my rotation, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping to work somewhere in the hospital setting first. When I was in undergrad, I did do research in radiation oncology where I worked with mice. I did publish an article after my research years, and I was awarded an excellence in research. With that research opportunity, I worked with a PI to learn about the hippocampus region of mice and how radiation affects their memory. And then with leadership roles, I had the opportunity to become a public health relations chair, and I just basically was involved with the public relations and really learning about the health of the community with an organization called MEMO during my undergraduate years. And this opportunity allowed me to travel abroad and conduct medical clinics for patients in Vietnam. I was also helping the local health clinics in SoCal area, so that gave me a great understanding of the necessity that patients need in our community. I believe that as long as you put your mind to it and you don't give up, you will get there. My favorite saying is always to just keep swimming. And I know, as cheesy as that sounds, that is my favorite saying because I know that there will be obstacles that come along the way. And I was in a student's shoes where they're applying to PA school or trying to figure out where they want to be in the future. And I believe that everything happens for a reason, but you just have to make the most out of this experience and learn from any obstacles or difficulties that you overcome. In addition to that, I believe that using your resources and reaching out to others, not being afraid to speak up, is also very important in PA school because your study methods will be different. When you enter from high school to undergrad, it's a different skill that you have to acquire, a different study method that you have to adapt to. It's the same thing with PA school. It's a full-time PA school program for most schools, and so it's hard to adjust from your undergraduate career to your grad school career. And so I think that if you reach out to others for help, you will be successful as long as you put your mind to it and don't give up when there are obstacles in your way. I believe that my approach is unique in the sense that I like to get to know my students. A lot of students are very focused on their grades, their patient care hours, and just overall their academic standing. And I think that it's important that you see yourself as an individual as well. Your personal experiences make up who you are, and I like to bring that out in a student. You're basically a student, but you also have a life outside of being a student, and that aspect of your life is very important into your application, and I like to draw that out of an applicant to make sure that that is the part that makes them stand out. So a lot of times students will have similar patient care experiences and they're scared or concerned that they won't stand out. And I like to bring in that your hobbies, your interests, your relationships with the community, the activities that you enjoy doing, your travel experiences, all those make up who you are and makes you an individual that is different from another person. And I think that's very important to incorporate in your application. So I like to try to understand and know what my students' passions are so that we can articulate that into the application. And that is something that I think a lot of times is missed. And so I think that's a great, unique trait that I have as a counselor for my students. I do like to learn more about my students, try to talk to them and try to ease them through this process. I was in your shoes. I know how difficult these times are, and I understand that it is a struggle sometimes to tell yourself that you will get there with this process, and the imposter syndrome starts to kick in. And I think that by sharing these relatable experiences with my students, I'm able to guide them through this process and ease their mind along the way as they're going through either getting into PA school or applying to PA school or just trying to learn about this profession. And I think that one of my greatest strengths is being able to reach out to my students and being able to detect when they're stressed. A lot of times students will message me when they're done with their personal statement or their application or their supplements. But I like to reach out to them too to make sure that they're doing okay in school, they're doing okay in work, and they're feeling okay with the application. I want to be the person that is their biggest support system through this process. I remember when I was applying into PA school and I just didn't have anyone that had knowledge of the PA profession because most of my friends were pre-dental or pre-med, and I'm a first generation student. So the struggle was really hard for me, and so I had to rely on YouTube videos and social media to understand this profession. So I was in their shoes at this point in time, and so I really want to be there for the students and be their greatest support system. I am also very quick to read personal statements because I like to make sure that they have efficient amount of time to really write their papers and allocate a large amount of time to editing. And so I think I'm very prompt with my editing skills as well. I am very passionate in helping pre-PA students because, like I said earlier, I was a pre-PA student at some point and I did not know anything about the profession. I had no clue on how to get started or the prerequisites or requirements that were expected of a student in order to apply to PA school. That struggle was very difficult for me, and at times I wanted to give up, but I told myself that with research, with motivation, I will get there. And so, like my favorite saying goes, just keep swimming. And I want to be that coach that guides the students through this difficult process. I want to be their support system because I think this is a wonderful profession that allows a student an opportunity to become a lifelong learner, but also work in a field where you're able to collaborate with multiple different medical professions to really help assist different communities and different patients that need help with their medical knowledge, their treatment and diagnosis. And I think that as a pre-PA student, it's difficult to really navigate through this process without support or help. So I want to be that support and I want to swim through this process with you. Thank you.